Hey guys, what's up? It's Brad. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is the video I know a lot of people on Twitter and my Discord have been looking forward to. Today we cover a list of vehicle audio files from Blackout that no one has ever heard before. Before this video, we only knew two vehicles that were coming to Blackout in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, a quad and a helicopter, because they were shown in the Blackout official teaser. Well, today we're covering 12 completely new, completely different vehicles and gadgets that no one saw coming. These vehicles include trucks, more helicopters, remote controls, and even jets. If you guys enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as a lot of work goes into finding these leaks, compiling them to a video, and posting them for you guys. My goal is to get 700 by September 17th, aka the Blackout PC beta, where I can post even more Blackout and zombie leaks. Let's get to 700, and let's get right into the video. So every time I make a new leak video, I always start off with how I discovered the audio files. Now this story is pretty similar to my last video, so if you watch that one, I'll try to make it quick and brief because you already know how it goes. So in the Black Ops 4 beta folder, there are some sound files called SABS and SABL files. Now using an external program, I am able to open these files and extract them. And there is a setting in my program that allows them to go to their actual game directories where they were stored in the game itself. Now this in turn gave me a vehicle folder, and this vehicle folder stands for, or V folder stands for vehicle. So that's pretty much how I did it. And before that I made this video tonight, I thought there's only a couple files. It wasn't that interesting. Well, I actually underestimated how many files there were, and I left this video to the last second, so it's currently like 8 AM and I'm posting this video in 4 hours. So I'm sorry if I sound a bit groggy. I have not slept yet. And the audio files I talk about in this video will be in a hashtag Black Ops 4 MPBO leaks chat in my Discord below if you want to hear them for yourself. I can't actually post them to Twitter anymore because of Activision copyrighting my tweets, but if you guys want to join the Discord, they're in the chat. There's also chats where we can talk about just normal channel stuff, normal leak stuff, or if you just want to hang out for the channel, there's just hangout spots for that. So yeah, let's finally get into the video. The first vehicle we're actually talking about is a plane. The plane is the AC-130 Gunship. Now, I'm not going to get into much real life uses and aspects with this airplane, as it is in a lot of first person and third person shooters, but the plane is a 4-propeller military grade aircraft that is in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, a lot of games that have guns in them. Anyways, so this aircraft has cannons mounted to the side, and it makes things go boom. We've seen this in many COD games before, but since Treyarch is making Blackout using only Black Ops assets according to the Black Ops 4 reveal, Treyarch, we've never seen this in a Treyarch game itself, but it is actually in Black Ops 4. So if you guys didn't play the Black Ops 4 beta, the Gunship is the most expensive score streak, and it pretty much destroys things. Now, one question is that you might have is, well, Brad, couldn't this plane just be left over from multiplayer? Well, that's what I considered until the AC-130 directory is actually in the Blackout vehicle folder. And not only that, the audio files, there's actually available audio files for interior damage explosion, interior multiplayer or missile lock, interior sounds, interior rattle cabin sounds, alarm sounds, lock on missile alert sounds, weapon switching, reloading, and flare deployment sounds for when locked onto. It is pretty insane that we'll be able to fly a giant plane to ground, let alone the AC-130, around the Blackout map, and we'll actually be able to have aerial battle royale dogfight battles. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's pretty cool. This is one of the cooler vehicles in the video, so some of the other ones might be quite short, but other ones are actually pretty interesting, but I kind of tried to space out the interesting ones as good as I can. Anyway, let's get on to the next vehicle. So the next vehicle we're actually going to be talking about is a rather strange one, and it's actually another aerial vehicle, and the next vehicle is actually the Hellstorm Dropship. Now, we know what the Hellstorm is. It's basically in every Black Ops game to date, so there's nothing special there. It's just a missile that ballistics, and it creates a bunch of other missiles, and it makes things go boom like the other AC-130 type thing. So now, the reason this vehicle is so strange is because it doesn't actually exist. If you go into a Hellstorm game, or if you get the Hellstorm in-game in any other Call of Duty, the Hellstorm spawns into the map, instead of actually being dropped from a quote dropship. Now, I don't know if this is the same case for Black Ops 4, because if we got a dropship in the beta, I don't think anyone would look up to see if it was actually being dropped from a ship. So I don't actually know there. A second thing to note is that if the spawns are limited for this dropship, and it's very rare to find, we actually might be able to drop a Hellstorm with a one-time use from the ship in Blackout to the map and kill people, which is pretty cool if you think about it. Imagine minding your own business on the ground and then being blown up by a Hellstorm. That would be insane. Anyways, let's move on. Now, another quick thing to note, which also backs up the reason it is from Blackout and it's not Scorestreaks, is that there's actual general plane impact sounds, which would play, for example, when you crash through mid-air wreckage, or when you crash the plane into the ground. And the C-130 actually has unique sounds for crashing. And there's also engine startup and shut down sounds, and all the vehicles have distant engine sounds, so that when you're far away from the vehicles, you actually hear them, and these don't play in MP. So I just thought I'd throw this in here just to make sure everyone's on the same page. Let's move on. Now, the next three vehicles are actually all helicopters, and I've actually got one more I'm going to talk about later, but I'll tell you why later. So the three helicopters are actually called the Chinook, the Chopper, quote Chopper, and the Huey. Now, one of these we saw in the Blackout teaser, and it had missiles on the side as well as gunners. I think, and this is personally me, I think it was the Chinook helicopter because it has debris and explosion audios and debris audios to go with it, so I'm just saying that. And the Chopper, I'm gonna assume that is just a regular old helicopter that doesn't have any guns or weapons because it doesn't have a special name. It's just good old transport. Well, the Huey, if you haven't played any military shooter ever, it is a real helicopter, and it is part of the Bell helicopter family. And in 1968, a version of the helicopter was specifically made for the US Army that was deemed the Gunship version, as the version had 50 cal turrets out each Huey door, and some versions even had missiles. These helicopters were used mostly on land operations, but also became an icon as they were also very used on warships, as in like kind of warships in the ocean, and short distance water operations, and it's still used today. So the last time we actually saw this aircraft was in Black Ops 1, and funny enough, it was during a rescue mission on a river. So that's just kind of a cool homage. Anyways, let's move on. This next vehicle, well, I don't actually know what it is. The directory for the vehicle is called HoverCar, and the only sound in the directory is a 1 to 2 second beep called hover alert. That will be in the audio video link to the Discord. It is very short, nothing much to it. I honestly don't know what kind of vehicle it could be because of the little evidence that we have, because I've kind of been putting the names and the audio files together, and that's how I know so much. I still thought I'd mention it so I don't get those comments, "You forgot a vehicle!" For those people who also know how to do this. And also, this video, we're actually going to have a question, and we do this every time. And the question this video is going to be, what do you guys think HoverCar is? I want to know the viewer's opinion. Comment below. Let's move on. Now, remember 2 clips ago how I was talking about another helicopter and I was going to talk about it later? Well, that time is now. I would have included this above, but I didn't for 2 reasons. One reason is that the audio files on the video aren't in order, and this helicopter is actually in a completely separate directory than the other helicopters. So I don't know if it means it's special, but I didn't want to mess up the order in the video because that would have made it confusing. So anyways, let's move on. Now, this helicopter is only known as the Hunter helicopter. Now, I don't know exactly what this is. I don't want to get confused with the Hunter Killer drone from Black Ops 2. It's kind of like the Dart from Black Ops 3, which I'll actually talk about later, fun fact. This is actually a helicopter, and it has its own helicopter blade rotor noises, which is interesting, so it's actually different from all the other ones. Now, this could be literally any chopper or attack chopper in any of the Call of Duties, as well as Treyarch. Like, let's just put that in mind, it has to be Treyarch, and I have no idea, but it's nice that we have a proper cool military helicopter, and it's not really a knockoff of the Huey, it's an actual Hunter helicopter. And yeah, let's move on. Congrats, we are halfway through. So now, coincidentally, the halfway point is the best point. Now, this might be personally for me, this might be for other people, but this is probably one of the main reasons why you clicked on this video is because of the jets. And yes, I said that right, there are jets coming to Blackout. 2 to be exact. Let's talk about both. So the first one we are going to be talking about is the A10 Thunderbolt, aka the Warthog from Black Ops 2. Now this Scorestreak / plane is a twin jet military jet that has a controllable minigun on the front nose, as well as a wing full of droppable fire or explosive bombs depending on what loadout you have on it. Now this plane is a beast in real life and is a beast in Black Ops 2. As I was recording this, I actually hopped into Black Ops 2 to show you guys what it might look like. It is pretty cool, and now that's pretty much it for that. And yeah, so the next plane is just called nothing else, just called Bomber. And now nothing really says Bomber more than the Lightning Strike Scorestreak, and it's accurate 3 bomb, powerful explosive paint for accurate targeting and weapon system on board. Nothing really special to talk about here. I just gave my idea on what I think it could be. If you guys got any ideas what you think Bomber could be, let me know in the description. The comments. Let's continue. The next vehicle is another one from Black Ops 4 actually, and it does fall in the remote control category, so that's why I'm calling it a vehicle. It's actually the Mantis Scorestreak, and the Mantis Scorestreak is a new Scorestreak in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and it is an AI remote control, kind of, you can control it, but it's also AI robot, and it actually has missile and lock-on missile capability. And this is another thing that kind of backs up the flares and the lock-on noises on the AC-130, just kind of backs up that idea. It also has reload, lock-on, and missile firing sounds already. Nothing really cool here because we already know what it is. Nothing really surprising. We've got a couple more of these. We already know what it is, but unfortunately, I just got to talk about it for the video. Let's move on. The next vehicle, like I said earlier, short and simple, is the quad. And we saw it in the Blackout teaser. 2-person quad, can traverse land, easy, simple transportation. Nothing really armored about this, not really bulletproof, really in the open if you know what I mean. Let's move on. The next 2 vehicles, just like the last one, is an RCXD. And now I personally think the RCXD in Blackout is going to be from Black Ops 4. The audio clips sound exactly like the Black Ops 4 one, and I can't see why they port a low quality model when they could just use the higher quality one they already have. And I know for sure this one has an explosive bomb because the next vehicle is called Recon, and the sounds are actually very similar, but it's way quieter than the RCXD. So I honestly think there's no weapons, no bombs, just like the name says. Recon, as quiet and harmless that a recon can be, until you call your enemy's position to a friend in an A10. That's when it's not really quiet. Okay, let's move on. Now, the next vehicle, just like the quad, is a simple truck. Should just traverse the land with. Like, it's just a simple, good old truck. Once again, I'm just putting this here so I don't get the "you missed a vehicle" comment for anyone that knows how to do this. Anyways, let's continue. The next 3 vehicles, or RCs I should actually say, is the Dart, Wraps, and Wasp traps from Black Ops 3. Now these are all in the vehicle folder for Blackout. Don't ask me why it was in the vehicle folder. I can understand the Dart and the Wraps, but I can't understand the Wasp part. But anyways, the Dart was basically a Black Ops 3 version of the Hunter Killer drone, and the Wraps was probably just a single Wraps that will be able to control the kill, and the Wraps was basically like the futuristic dogs kind of thing from Black Ops 3. And while Nomad's Wasp traps are returning with him, they will probably be a placeable or shootable trap and have no relation to Nomad at all. So you'll just be able to kill enemies with this trap. Anyways, let's move on. Don't worry guys, it gets more interesting from here. We're on the last 2, and the second last one is actually a UAV. Surprisingly, they're putting a flying and flyable UAV jet into Blackout. Now I don't know if this will invade your map or tell you where enemies are, but I couldn't actually get a screenshot of the game because you can't actually see your own UAV in a custom lobby for some reason. But anyways, if you listen to the jet sound, it sounds exactly like the Black Ops 3 UAV, and the Black Ops 3 UAV was a quiet single jet engine, and when it boosts away from the map once it's done being a UAV, it just quietly boosts away. So I honestly think that's what it'll probably be. It kind of seems like something Treyarch would put in the Blackout. It kind of matches the 10 years massed together theme they're going for. Anyways, time for the last vehicle. The last vehicle, probably the one you least expect to be in Blackout, is the Wraith. The Wraith is a dual-engine helicopter type vehicle in Black Ops 3. It has a minigun, turreted nose, and it looks to be a two-seater in Black Ops 3. Now, I don't know exactly where we could find these in a Blackout map, but there is one question you gotta ask. In Black Ops 3, a tiny drone follows the Wraith around and cloaks it when it is not engaging an enemy. So, does this cloak appear in Blackout is my question. Would it work the same way? Would it be a temporary thing? Would it be a permanent thing? Would it be a power-up? Would it be a perk you could unlock? It'd just be really cool to have, just maybe as a power-up or unlockable, like a consumable card from World War II. I think it'd be a bit OP to have a fully cloaked, controllable minigun flying around, but maybe that's just me. Let's get to the outro. Well, we finally reached the end of the video. Once again, I'm insanely sorry. I know I sound exhausted. I know I had some audio screw-ups, but I'm almost so close to the time I have to release this video that I don't have time to re-record these clips. So I'm just trying to push this high-quality video quickly out for you guys to hit my timer. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, hit that sub button. We've been growing probably 30 to 40 subs a video by the time I post my next one. So every 2 days we grow by like 30-40 subs. At this rate, we could be at 1,000 subscribers by Black Ops 4 and maybe even 700 by the Blackout PC beta if everything goes well, or even if it dies down a bit. So anyways, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.